There are two types of check-ins that you and your partner can do that will help you deepen your connection, spice up your sex life, and perhaps most importantly, reduce conflict and jealousy. This is especially true if you are in an open or in a polyamorous relationship. But first, hey there. If you don't already know me, my name is Brian G. Murphy. I'm an activist, educator, and certified relationship coach, and I help gay and bisexual men build relationships on our own terms. In my work as a relationship coach, there are a few concerns that I see over and over and over again. They are, I've been talking to guys about potentially hooking up, and I'm ready to go meet up, but I just don't know when is the right time to bring that up to my partner. I want to be having more sex with my partner, but I don't want to be a buzzkill or make him feel like I don't appreciate what we do have. I feel like my partner is often springing his hookups on me at the last minute, and I only have a little bit of time to either get on board with it or tell him that I don't want him to do it, and neither of those really feels great. I have this sense that my partner is chatting with other guys, and I'm pretty sure he knows I'm talking to them as well, but we never talk about it, and I just don't know how or when or if to bring it up. If any of those sound like something you or your partner has said or thought, here's what you need to do. There are two types of check-ins that you should be doing regularly. The first is a weekly top-level check-in about the week coming up called a sync session. And the other one is a more in-depth check-in about the state of affairs in your relationship. This is a place for long-term planning, goal setting, and really digging into some deeper emotions. I call that a shift session. A challenge that I often see in long-term relationships is that you've gotten really good at taking care of each other, which means you've gotten really good at not rocking the boat and making waves. And so if there's something that you want to talk about that feels important or vulnerable or potentially upsetting to your partner, you might be worried about bringing it up, and you've learned to just stomach that and deal with it for the sake of harmony in your relationship. It also means that you or your partner might wait until the last minute to talk about things, or until you can't bear it anymore. And those are things that we want to avoid to keep your relationship both healthy but also thriving and exciting. I think it's very understandable that you might not want to be the one to bring up something, whether that is something like, hey, I'm gonna go hook up with this guy soon, or something bigger and deeper like wanting to talk about long-term goals or financial savings or your sex life. You can feel like if I bring that up, I'm ruining the moment, or I'm being a nag, or I'm the one complaining. And so by having regular check-ins that are scheduled, you can outsource the responsibility of being the nag to your calendar. By having a set time every week and every month to check in about things that are important to you in your relationship and just practical concerns and considerations that you need to do to keep your relationship and your day-to-day lives moving forward, then you or your partner never has to be the nag, and you always know that there's going to be a time and a space to talk about the things that need talking about. So here's how I recommend breaking that out. Once a month, you're going to have a bigger, more robust check-in on things like your sex life, the quality time that you're spending together, your goals and hopes for the future, how communication and conflict is going, how, if you're new to an open relationship or to polyamory, how that is going for you. This is also a great place to share things like appreciations and gratitude for one another, things that you're really impressed by your partner, things that are working really well for you as well. You're gonna wanna carve out at least a few hours to make time and space to really dive into these types of conversations. This is work that I do with my clients inside of Relationshift, which is a program for LGBT folks who are in or interested in open or polyamorous relationships. If that is you, go to relationshift.us to find out more. And then once a week, I recommend having what I call a sync session. This is what it sounds like. You're syncing your schedules with one another. A lot of times in open and polyamorous relationships, jealousy comes up because of being caught by surprise or because of mismatched assumptions. And so if you can get in sync earlier, a lot of jealousy or anxiety can be avoided. It's really sometimes as simple as planning your calendar. No I don't know, journaling or meditation required. I mean, also that can be really helpful too. I recommend doing your sync session at either the start or the end of the week. So if you work a typical Monday through Friday job, that's gonna be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. This can be done in as quick as 10, 15 minutes. Maybe if you're just getting started, lay out half an hour just to be safe. And you're going to look at your week ahead and sync up your schedules. So if you live together, you might talk about things like, when are you doing dinner together? When are you doing dinner separately? What food do you have to get for those dinners? Are people coming over? Or when are you going to be out of town? Are you going to be having any visitors? If you have kids, who's picking up the kids to or from school, to or from soccer practice or play practice, things like that. This is like very logistics of like, where are we going to be and how are we going to be spending our time in the week ahead? If you don't live together, this is a great chance to make time and plans to see one another. When are we going to see each other? What nights are we together? When are we going to be spending the night? When are we just going to be visiting and then going home? That way your expectations for the week in advance are clear. When you live with your partner, it can be really easy to take for granted that they're just always going to be around. And so syncing your calendars in advance to say, this is my plans. I would like to play tennis with one of my friends. I'm getting drinks with coworkers. I would like some time alone to read. Or let's plan a date night. We haven't done that in a while. Or I don't want to go out to a date, but could we have some quality time just together, making dinner and watching TV? You don't want every night to just sort of be always constantly the same, where you're kind of together, but kind of not really doing anything special. So plan out your week so that you've got time for the two of you together and also time for your own personal interests. This then, of course, is also the time for you to talk about potential hookups or dates or parties that you want to be going to together or separately with or without your partner. And so this is a time for you to say, hey, I've been talking with so-and-so. I would like to meet up with him. I was thinking Tuesday or Wednesday. Do either of those days work better or worse for you? Hey, so-and-so is coming into town on Thursday. I'd like to make plans with him at some point in the coming week. Hey, just as an FYI, I scheduled plans with this person on Tuesday. Things of that nature. That way, your partner has ample notice and ample time to process his or her or their feelings about whatever your plans are. And it also gives you a time and a space to come up with plans to help manage and address and take care of any uncomfortable feelings that might come up. You planning a date with someone might make your partner realize he's been wanting a date with you. And so this is a perfect time to then schedule a date for the two of you together. It forces both of you, or it invites both of you to be intentional with how you're spending your time and not just kind of take for granted that we're generally going to be together. A weekly sync session and a monthly shift session are things that I've been doing with my partner probably for over a decade now. And they are really the building blocks, the foundations of our relationship and allow us to feel confident and secure in our relationship because we know we're always coming back together to plan time and to plan for the future on things that are important to us. But I know life is hectic and it is hard to make or keep appointments just with yourself sometime. That is one of the roles that I play as a relationship coach, is you are putting aside time on your calendar every week to come meet with me to work on your relationship. It's also a time and a place that I can help you walk through some of these topics that you'll be discussing in your sync session and in your shift session. So if big feelings come up for you while you're having these conversations, you've got a skilled facilitator there to help you navigate them and also to help you make a plan for going forward. One of the things that I really love about my practice is it is not a see you every week for forever and ever and ever. I love graduating my clients. I often go from seeing folks weekly to every other week to once a month to eventually never. And just as often as my clients tell me that they're ready to move on, I often am the one to say, hey, I think you're ready to go down to every other week, or hey, I think you're ready to go down to once a week, or hey, do you think our time here is done and you're ready to sort of like do and put this into practice all on your own? My goal in my work is to give you all the tools that you need for a lifetime of success and thriving in your relationships. So if you think you could use some extra support in your open or polyamorous relationship, head on over to relationshift.us to get started. And I've got a video right here that I think will be helpful for you if you're not quite ready to get started with that. Take a look at that, subscribe for more videos on relationships, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.